This delicious and easy to make cake is called a depression cake, sometimes called a crazy cake, a wacky cake, or a war cake. It got its name because it is made without milk, butter, or eggs. It's a great cake for anyone with milk or egg allergies. To make this cake, you need very few ingredients. You'll start with 3 cups of flour, 1/2 cup of cocoa, 1 1/2 cups of sugar, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 2 tablespoons of white distilled vinegar, yes, you heard me right, vinegar, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 3/4 of a cup of oil, and 2 cups of water. Start by preparing a pan. Again, I'm using an aluminum pan. Some people say you can mix all the ingredients in a pan, but I do prefer to use a bowl. I've started with 3 cups of flour, to which I'm adding the sugar, the cocoa, all the dry ingredients, the baking soda, the salt. And now I'm going to mix this all together with a whisk. After I've incorporated all of the dry ingredients, I'm going to add my liquid, and I'm going to add everything all at once, starting with the vanilla, going with 3/4 of a cup of oil, 2 cups of water, and the final magic ingredient, the 2 tablespoons of white distilled vinegar. Remember, in another lesson we talked about what vinegar does when it mixes with soda. It will cause the leavening of this cake. There's no eggs, there's nothing else to use as a leavening. This will be kind of a watery batter. As I mix it all up with my whisk, you could use an electric mixer, but I think it works nicely with the whisk. You want to make sure that all the dry is incorporated. You'll start to see the vinegar starting to bubble. And when this is ready, it will be poured into the prepared aluminum pan and put in a preheated 350-degree oven and baked for about 35 minutes. 40 minutes, I'm taking it out of the oven for it to cool to room temperature while I make the icing, and then we'll finish it up. Today I'm going to make a cream cheese icing. This cake is beautiful with the plain white icing, with the chocolate icing, but this is a special birthday cake for a friend, and she requested a cream cheese icing. So I'm starting with about a stick of butter and 4 ounces of cream cheese, to which I'm going to add about a teaspoon of vanilla and a pinch of salt. Now I'm going to cream this together until I'm happy with the texture. All right, I have this to the texture I'm looking for. Now it's time to start incorporating the powdered sugar. I've started to mix in my powdered sugar, and now just small additions of milk. Don't want to add too much milk or it'll get too thin. Okay, I'm going to dump the whole bowl of icing onto the cake and start spreading it. One of the nice things about icing and frosting a cake is that you can really cover a multitude of sins. This cake might have baked just a wee bit too long, kind of pulled away from the edges, so I'm really kind of bringing this icing over to cover the bad spots. There's plenty of icing, and this is looking absolutely delightful. Voila!